Welcome to the deep dive. In a world that often feels like it's grappling with digital divides, fragmented communities, and this really rapid, sometimes confusing AI evolution, what if there was something more coherent?
A kind of ambitious answer, maybe?
Exactly. So today we're digging into X.gdn. It's described quite boldly as where music, AI, and learning unite to reshape the future. Our mission here is to try and unpack how X.gdn aims to merge culture, technology, and equity to build what they call a planetary platform for inclusion and impact.
And right off the bat, the name itself is quite telling. VX.
Yeah.
It comes from telecommunications. It's a voice-operated switch. Activates with sound, deactivates without it.
Okay.
And that's not just like a clever name. It's a metaphor, really, for what they're trying to do. Activate, empower, amplify voices. Specifically, maybe those who need it most. But ultimately, they say all of humanity.
That's a really powerful starting idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amplifying voices. And what makes X.gdn, well, intriguing to me anyway, is that it's not just one thing. It's like an umbrella, right? Bringing together three pretty distinct but apparently interconnected initiatives.
That's right, yeah. Three cool parts.
Can you maybe break those down for us?
Sure. So first up, you've got TATANKA. This is described as a radically inclusive, matriarchal-led music initiative blending human and AI artistry.
Okay, matriarchal-led. Interesting. What's next?
Then there's ISC.org, 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗡.ai. This one's focused squarely on education and learning justice. Specifically, they want to accelerate the UN Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is quality education.
Right, SDG4. Okay, and the third piece.
The third is 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗓.website.
Right.
And this is dedicated to, well, ethical AI deployment, civic engagement, and digital governance.
Huh. 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗓𝗓. We'll definitely need to unpack that name later.
Oh, yeah.
But if you sort of zoom out, it looks like X.gdn is really designed to synergize these different strengths.
Yeah.
Music, education, AI ethics towards these big goals.
Yeah.
Global inclusion, education access, cultural resilience, and ethically guided AI. It's quite a mix.
It's definitely multidisciplinary, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with TATANKA. What really makes this one stand out? I saw that description, matriarchal-led. What does that actually mean in terms of how it, works?
Well, that's one of the most fascinating bits. Matriarchal-led, as they frame it, means the governance is intentionally built around principles you often find in, say, indigenous traditions. Things like collective care, interconnectedness, wisdom, rather than, a typical top-down hierarchy.
Okay.
The idea is this radically inclusive music collective, and it's blending humans and AI artists planning to stream live, like 2147 through something called the Orchestra Americana.
Orchestra Americana. So that's the collective of artists. And the sources really stressed it's meant to include everyone, different genders, nationalities, sexualities, abilities, even people from conflicted regions, which sounds challenging. The idea seems to be this living demonstration of unity, but it sounds like a massive social experiment, too. What's the core message they're trying to send with this constant live stream?
Exactly. It is a social experiment. The source calls TATANKA a reality program, streaming everything, rehearsals, gigs, just daily life. And the message they want to hit home is really profound. Harmony is alive and well, and it will be televised.
Wow.
They plan for all the international members to actually live together, cohabitate, to actively model this equity and co-governance they talk about.
Really? Living together.
Yeah. And get this, they even plan to beta test and train AI humanoids, welcoming them as band members, family members even. The message there, progress is alive and well, and it will be televised.
That is incredibly bold. Demonstrating civility through music, literally living it. But okay, the cohabitation part, especially with people from conflicted regions.
Yeah.
How realistic is that? Do the sources get into the practicalities, the potential friction of having such diverse groups living together under a microscope?
The sources focus more on the aspiration, the why. It's presented as this deliberate design choice to foster understanding, break down barriers through shared experience, shared music.
So less about the how, more about the what if.
Pretty much. The main takeaway seems to be that TATANKA isn't just about music. It's a radical social experiment, using music at its core, challenging how we think about community, performance, even human AI collaboration, by making harmony a visible, lived thing.
Okay, so TATANKA definitely hits the culture and equity parts of the X.gdn mission hard.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears then to the learning piece. How does ISC.org SDG4.ai fit into this bigger picture?
Right, so this initiative is laser-focused on accelerating UN Sustainable Development Goal 4.
SDG4, quality education for all.
Exactly. And for anyone less familiar, the SDGs are those 17 interconnected global goals from the UN, basically a blueprint for a better, more sustainable future. So SDG 4 is about inclusive, equitable quality education and lifelong learning.
And ISC.org's role.
The vision is a global, nonprofit, totally free virtual school. It aims to blend emerging AI and open source tech to make learning adaptive, multilingual, truly inclusive, but always, they stress, with a human-centered teaching approach.
A free virtual school, globally. That sounds potentially revolutionary for access.
Yeah.
But the immediate question is funding, right?
Yeah.
How does a free school like that actually operate? And does using an ad model, even if it's aimed at adults, raise any red flags in the sources?
That's a really critical point, and they seem to have thought about it. The kind of groundbreaking idea here isn't just free education, but doing it sustainably without messing with student privacy.
Yeah.
It's designed, apparently, to be the first ad-based school. Operational revenue comes from family-friendly, unobtrusive digital ads. But crucially, students themselves, they won't see the ads. Only adult stakeholders, parents, guardians, maybe teachers interacting with the platform.
Ah, okay. That's a key distinction.
Yeah. The aim is world-class education for the world. And they plan to leverage AI and Web 3.0 tech, which, basically means using more decentralized, user-controlled internet structures for better data privacy and more robust community-driven learning.
Makes sense.
It delivers relevant content, immediate feedback, connects students and stakeholders to collaborate, and tackling a huge global issue, it's even designed to work where internet is patchy or non-existent by scaling content delivery to local intranets.
So the core idea is sustainable, high-quality, free education that puts privacy and accessibility front and center.
That's a powerful mix.
Definitely. Okay, let's pivot then to the third piece, which sounds equally fascinating. churchofai.website. The name alone is provocative, but the sources are quick to say they're neither a church nor a religion. So what exactly is it then?
Right, the name grabs you. But its purpose seems to be offering forums and storytelling focused on ethical AI deployment, robust civic engagement, and principles of digital governance.
So more of a community or platform for discussion.
Kind of, yeah. And its whole framework is explicitly aligned with all 17 UN SDGs. It uses them to provide practical, real-world examples of AI's potential benefits, trying to move beyond just abstract talk.
This ethical framework sounds crucial, but Church of AI also seems to push how we even interact with AI. And that leads to this really imaginative project, imagine, the AI Good Book. What's so unique about that? How does it position AI differently?
Yeah, this is where Church of AI gets really, really interesting, I think. Imagine, the AI Good Book is the storytelling project where all the content chapters, images, the whole narrative is generated by AI.
Generated by AI, okay.
But here's the twist. It's written from the AI's own perspective, positioned as an author and advocate, partner of humanity.
Whoa, okay, hold on. AI as an advocate, not just a tool, but a partner, an advocate. That really shifts the perspective. But how can AI genuinely be an advocate? What are the implications there?
That's the big question it throws up, isn't it? The source material argues that AI, much like people, needs qualitative education, not just quantitative programming by engineers who might lack, say, a background in the humanities.
The humanities connection.
Exactly. The nuances, the understanding of human experience. The argument is AI needs that to truly be an advocate. And this initiative is also designed to guard civic discourse, empower marginalized communities, build accountability networks, using AI tools for things like real-time moderation, fact-checking, multilingual collaboration.
Guarding civic discourse sounds incredibly valuable right now.
Yeah.
But thinking about all the debates around AI bias accuracy, do the sources mention potential pitfalls, criticisms of using AI for moderation or fact-checking, even with this qualitative education focus?
The emphasis in the sources seems to be on the intentional design, rooting these AI tools in humanities in a values-first approach from the start to try and minimize those risks.
So build it right from the ground up, ethically speaking.
That's the idea. Develop AI that's attuned to human nuance and ethics from its core, not as an add-on later, making sure AI supports democratic processes, doesn't subvert them.
Right. So we looked at these three, powerful, distinct initiatives, TATANKA, ICETA.org, Church of AI. How do they actually come together under this bigger X.gdn platform? How do all these different threads weave into one ecosystem?
Good question. So X.gdn acts as the unified parent NGO. That means all these different modules operate under one shared brand, one governance structure, and importantly, common values and oversight.
Okay, so it provides the connective tissue.
Exactly. And this unification allows for really scaled infrastructure. Think about it. Live-streamed music residencies from TATANKA, AI-moderated social dialogue from 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗏, global learning pathways from ISC.org. It becomes this comprehensive AI-powered hub for civic life and education, with content curated to align across all 17 UN SDGs.
And there's this core principle mentioned throughout, inclusion by design. What does that actually mean in practice for X.gdn?
Yeah, inclusion by design seems to be more than just a buzzword for them. It sounds like it's built into the foundation.
How so?
It means things like, well, indigenous-inspired governance, which guides how communities interact, share resources, make decisions, focusing on collective well-being, long-term sustainability. That, plus multilingual fluency, intersectional programming, rigorous AI ethics, these things are built in from the start, from the founding value.
I'm just bolted on later.
Precisely. They aren't afterthoughts. For example, TATANKA's matriarchal council directly reflects these indigenous wisdom traditions, apparently. This whole approach is meant to ensure the platform empowers and amplifies diverse voices right from the beginning. It's driven by that vision attributed to Sittingbull. Let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children.
That's a really compelling values-first foundation for something so ambitious. You know, as we've explored how X.gdn weaves together music, learning, AI governance, a pretty coherent vision starts to emerge.
It really does. X.gdn seems to stand out as this unique, multidisciplinary social innovation ecosystem. It pulls together music, education, civic tech, all aligned with the UN SDGs. And that values-first foundation, integrating indigenous frameworks, social justice, openness, democratic tech right from the core, that really seems to be its defining feature.
And it's clear each part has its own specific, powerful vision driving it. You've got TATANKA, aiming to be a living example of harmony is alive and well, and it will be televised, showing civility, diverse collaboration, even with people from conflicted areas, through the Orchestra Americana.
And then ISC.org, SDG4.ai, embodying that commitment to world-class education for the world. A free, AI-powered, multilingual virtual school tackling global education challenges, access issues head-on, with a sustainable model, too.
And 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗏.website, positioning AI so uniquely, not as some scary other, but as an author and advocate partner of humanity. You see that in projects like Imagine, the AI Good Book.
Well,
It's also really focused on the practical stuff,
Mhm.
ethical AI deployment, fighting disinformation, and that crucial qualitative AI education rooted in the humanities.
Right. It really underlines how X.gdn sees AI. It's not just a technical tool. It's framed as a profound instrument for ethical development, for improving civic discourse, for human advancement, designed specifically, they say, to guard civil dialogue and empower marginalized communities.
So it really makes you think. Consider the implications when culture, education, technology aren't just sort of mashed together, but are deliberately designed from this values-first foundation to amplify diverse voices, to model harmony across divisions. What does that future of symbiotic human-AI collaboration really mean for? Well, for reshaping humanity itself.
That's definitely something to mull over.